Hi, and welcome to Becoming a Biblical Trophy Wife. My name is Christiane, but you can call me Christy, and that's exactly what I'm trying to do, is become a biblical trophy wife for my husband. Now, you might be thinking that I'm not a typical trophy wife, and that's true. What the world thinks of as a trophy wife is a gold digger and someone who only strives for outer beauty. That's not what we're looking for on this channel. What we're looking for is someone who is striving to become the best version of themselves for their mate, okay? A wife is to be a helpmate to her husband, and she is her husband's prize. So, the meaning that I have in my heart behind becoming a biblical trophy wife is that you are your husband's prize. And some people might have been thinking trophy is not the right word for that. That's okay. You can think that, but I think it is the right word because the Bible clearly states that we are our husband's prize. And what is a prize but a trophy, right? So, now that's out of the way, some examples of trophy wives that I have personally looked into and thought about are Sarah and Esther and Ruth and all of these women in the Bible who really strived to be the beautiful crown of her husband. And so we're going to get into some of that. But what I want you to realize is that being a biblical trophy wife is so much more than just what's on the outside. We're going to talk about what's on the inside and how to become the best version of yourself because you are your husband's prize, ladies. He chose you out of all the women in the world, out of all the women he probably may or may not have dated. I mean, some people find their true soulmate in high school, and that's wonderful. But not all people have that same experience. So, out of all the women that could have been chosen, he chose you. So, before you start thinking negatively about being your husband's trophy wife, think about the fact that he picked you and he picked you for a reason. And um so that makes you his prize. And as wives and mothers and raising daughters who will one day be their husband's prize, I think we should be striving to be excellent and the crown of our husbands, because Proverbs 12:4 says an excellent wife is the crown of her husband. And it goes further, but it says, but she who brings shame is like rottenness in his bones. That's horrible. We don't want to be contentious and rotten in our husband's bones. We want to be his prize. We want to bring him joy. We want him to be proud of us and to walk us around like he's proud of us. Um, and that's what that means. But it means so much more than just the outer beauty. We're going to talk about inner beauty, mindset, all of those things as well. So on this channel, my goal is to explore what it means to be a biblical trophy wife. We're going to dive into some Bible verses. We're going to talk about those women. We're going to talk about some husbands too. And we're going to talk about, various things in the Bible and what it teaches us about how we should be women, wives, mothers, daughters, friends. We're just going to talk about Bible stuff, okay? Because I happen to love my Jesus and my God and my Bible. And so that's one of the things we're going to explore, as well as biblical marriage. And the other things that we're going to talk about on this channel, as far as how it relates to becoming this biblical trophy wife, we are going to talk about daily Bible reading and prayer, diet, exercise, mental health, mindset, accountability, consistency, and so much more. I'm going to share all of my tips and tricks from how I went from, what did I start out at? 220 pounds, and I am now down to 160. So I'm going to share all about how I have made this transformation since last October. And I was about 195, I believe, in December. So that's my metric that I go by because that's when I started actually tracking everything. But I did start back in October at about 220 pounds and then just kind of went full bore in December once I started seeing results. So you too can see those results. But my prayer is just to help as many people as possible, to not only grow closer to God, but also to become the best possible version of yourself, because that's what we're all wanting to do, is be the best possible version of ourselves to bring glory to God and to be that crown for our husband, or that wonderful employee, or that amazing friend. These are all the things that we are working towards and striving for. And it's so much easier to do with God in your corner and on your side. So thank you for watching my intro. Let me know what you are most excited to learn about. What would you like to know about me? And what questions do you have about being a biblical trophy wife, or really anything else? I would love to dive into some of those topics with you. I am very excited to get this channel going, and my prayer is just that it blesses as many people as possible. So like, subscribe, share with your friends, and let's have a conversation. And don't forget to be your husband's prize, ladies.